Right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Golden Sky. It is Tuesday, the 22nd of July 2025. I'm Tom, and if you're joining me today here on YouTube, quick reminder, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, comment away. Podcast listeners, 5-star ratings and reviews. Quick little note for the podcast listeners today, you might want to come over to YouTube because what we've got in store is a lot of visual stuff. I'm going to be looking at the friendly against Stoke. I'm going to be talking through some photos of the game, and then we're going to have a little look at how that looks on the pitch with a little tactic sort of board. And then at the end today, we'll do a little signings update, a quick signings update for everybody. So if you are on the podcast, you may benefit today coming over to YouTube if you haven't already and checking out how it looks. You can watch along with us. So with all that said, that's sort of the agenda today. A little Tuesday tactics. What do we think? Got a nice ring to it. Tactical Tuesday. Could be something fun. And it has been a few days since the game, I understand, but this is not my only thing in life. So we are delayed until today. So apologies, it's not right after the game, but here we are. Hope this is okay. Where I've been for the last couple of days, I mean, it was our last weekend for a long time without a Liverpool game to enjoy. So how did we all spend it? What were we doing, you know? We've got Liverpool games taking us through the next couple of weeks. Well, just about over a month or so, actually, I think, before international break after the third week of the season. We've got friendlies before then, we've got the Community Shields, we've got a lot of weekends of football to look forward to. So how did we enjoy the last one without it? Personally, I watched, I'll tell you all, I watched some mad video of some fella. He went to like I don't know how I found this video, guys, I'll be honest. He went to Snake Island in Indonesia. I'd never heard of this bloke before, but he goes on the island of Borneo of Indonesia on the Snake Island, and basically the premise of the video was just this bloke from Ireland who's gone there, and he met up with some Indonesian fella called Diaz, who was like the master of Snake Island, right? And they were transporting blood pythons in a bag to the middle of the island. This is real, by the way, I'm not making this up. I swear to God, I didn't dream this. I actually genuinely watched this video. It takes the pythons to the middle, they drop the pythons off, but along the way they had like all sorts of mad snakes and mad stuff to deal with. They met a king cobra. The Irish fella nearly got killed, literally. It was mental. So if you fancy watching that, just search on YouTube, survived 3 days on Snake Island or something along those lines. It'll come up. A fella called Dara. It was class. I was invested. It was only about half an hour long, but it was brilliant. So that's how I spent my weekend. Oh, guys, I need the football back. This is where I am. When there's nothing to do, I need the football back big time. So there was that on the weekend, and then yesterday at work, I'll tell you a little story before we get into the real football. Yesterday I went to the toilet at work, but it was a different toilet than the one I'm used to, which I'm sure for anyone who works in an office knows this is a precarious situation. You don't venture out of the areas of the office that you're used to. However, our toilet was not in use, so I had to go venture to a different area. So I did so, and entered this toilet, and it was all dark, like there was no lights on at all. So I'm looking around for the lights, which I'm alone in there, right? I'm like an idiot just looking around the walls. Like, you think it'd be obvious, right? Well, it wasn't. And the only thing I could find was in a place that looked like where a light switch might be. There's one of them like pulley cords, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes like it's a light, it goes like clicks on, you know. So I thought, oh, that must be the light then. So I give that a pull, and anyway, this just like alarm just starts going off. It was clearly like some, I don't know, distress alarm or something. Starts going off. So I did what any normal person would do in that situation, and I just left. I just quickly got out of there and hid. Basically, ran back to my desk and I could hear the alarm going off, and I just pretended I knew nothing about it and just hid like a meth. Honestly, I'm not proud of my actions, but that's what I did. And I just didn't even go back to the toilet. I just abandoned my toilet trip. That was it for me. The embarrassment was too much. Even though no one saw me, I just felt, I'll just wait now. It was bad. So yeah, that's been me for the last couple of days. So hopefully your guys' weekend and all that is going a little better than mine was. Okay, so with that said, today then, guys, like I mentioned at the very start, we're gonna get into the game against Stoke. So this was a game played on Sunday behind closed doors, and the highlights were released after, which we've all probably and hopefully seen, at least the clip that they uploaded on YouTube. However, as I subscribed to what was formerly known as LFC TV, but is now called All Red Video or something, not sure why they changed the name, but hey ho, I got access to like a 13-minute video they uploaded of the game, so a little bit more extended highlights. So what I did last night was clipped up all the photos that I thought were interesting, because I'm not allowed to show you videos of it, I think, but I believe I'm allowed to show you photos. So if anyone from Liverpool is watching and I've done wrong, please tell me. This is unintentional, but I believe I'm entitled to do this. So here we go. We're gonna get up the photos and I'll just talk through and tell you guys what I thought, and we'll do a little analysis of the game. So let's pull the first one up, if I can. Here we go, and we'll head over to this screen. Ta-da! Here we go. Right, the power of technology, everyone. Right, so here we see the first photo from the game that I took. So this is the first clip, and what I'll do is I'll just kind of talk through, and we'll go through one by one. So you can see on this one, pretty simple. Van Dijk has the ball at the back. We've got the defence and the midfielders. But what's interesting about this photo straight away, and the reason why I put it in, is you're seeing the beginnings of the shape of Liverpool this season. We are overanalyzing here, so it is just one game. Things may change. Slot may be experimenting, but it is here. So you can see at the back we've got sort of a three at the back, with Robbo tucking in, Van Dijk right in the centre, and Gomez sort of coming around to more of a right centre back position than a centre back in a two-man pairing. And you've got Neone and Jones. There's no traditional six in this screenshot. You can see they're in a straight line, which is what you'd call a double pivot, if you want to use those terms. But you can see kind of the split between the team. You see Stoke's midfield here, and then you can't see any of our players, and you'll see why in the next screenshot. So it's just interesting to see how we're lining up when we have the ball in relaxed possession. That's kind of how we're setting up. So we go to the next one. You can see Van Dijk gets the ball to Trey Neone, who was excellent, by the way, in these clips that I saw. And straight away, Neone's on the turn, looking to play the ball forward. And you see the man that the ball's going to go to here is Florian Wirtz. So we talked when we signed Wirtz about the amount of touches that he gets in a game for a number 10. And in the first clip, you can see straight away how he gets involved. So he's jumped off that last line, and the ball is going to find him. But before it does that, I want to take a look now as the ball's advanced and the camera's advanced. You can see this forward line we've got. You've got Rio, Wirtz, Darwin, our striker, Szoboszlai, who started at right back in this game, and Salah is down in the corner. You know where Salah is. Szoboszlai's position is so interesting. Like I said, on the team sheet he started at right back, but you can see here he's not at right back. He's basically up front. He's in number 10 position. And you can see sort of the 3-2-5 is kind of the formation on the ball here that you're seeing. So the right back has actually advanced all the way up the pitch to join this line, and sort of create what we were thinking might happen with a double 10. So you've got Wirtz and Szoboszlai as your 10s, Nunez as your striker. And that's kind of the setup as what it looked like straight away. So the ball comes through to Wirtz. As you can see, the ball is here. It was quite a pinged pass from Nioni. Had a bit of zip on it. But this is where Wirtz's quality just shines through so well. So what actually happens is you can see he's getting ready to receive the ball. And in one touch, he just cushions this one down perfectly for Darwin. It's just the quality of Wirtz. It's the ability he has to just touch the ball every single time with purpose and precision. And he does that. Gives it to Darwin. You can see cushions it off. And you can see immediately how the player's advancing. So despite the fact that Darwin is going to pass this ball back to Robbo, you can see all the body positions of the team. So Szoboszlai's moving forward, Wirtz is moving forward, Rio's moving forward. All the Stoke players, you can see they're all retreating back. And that's because even though Wirtz was like a wall, imagine Nioni has passed the ball against the wall, which was Wirtz, and it rebounds to Nunez, and it's going to go back again. That wall pass forces Stoke to have to move backwards. And that's what happens here. So Nunez gets the ball, moves it back to Robbo, as we see here. And again, you can see quite simply the 3, 2, and then 5 with Nunez dropped in after just playing the pass. Robbo simply just gives the ball to Trey in the middle, gives it to one of our midfielders. Imagine this could be McAllister, this could be Gravenberch, this could be a number of players, could be Endo, anyone like that who plays in the middle for us. And again, you see Wirtz he's just dropped off that line of defence. So the right back here is concerned with Rio. The centre back, you can see he's caught. He doesn't know whether to go with Nunez or Wirtz. Nunez is telling Nioni to whack it in behind. But what actually happens is Trey finds Wirtz through this gap here. Again, Wirtz has made himself available. So immediately he's got on the ball twice. He created the first move up the pitch with the wall pass. Now he's going to receive the ball again here, which he does, and you can see how he receives the ball. His first touch, he's on the half turn already. This was a skill that I think last season we missed a lot, to be honest. The ability to receive the ball on the half turn, we didn't have that many players I feel like were comfortable doing it, especially under high pressure. I think Gravenberch is excellent at it. Aside from that, it's not really Szoboszlai's strength. McAllister's okay, but he's often facing the play rather than facing the ball ready to turn. Wirtz just adds this whole dimension to our team of being able to do this, and you can see the effect it has once he gets going. Sees the ball in the half turn, he's in between the lines, and you'll see the danger this causes. So you can see he drives forward with the ball straight away. He's driving at the defence. They have no choice but to retreat. This player tries to bite back at him, but you can see in this screenshot Wirtz shows a bit of strength. He actually bounces this guy off him, which was really good to see. He's not the tallest player in the world, Wirtz, not the most physical player, but he showed he's willing to compete here. He bounces this guy off him, and you can see straight away everyone's bearing down on the goal, towards the goal. Nunez is right on the shoulder. Nunez actually scored a hat-trick in this game, which we'll get into. It's not a coincidence that that's because Wirtz is playing, let me tell you that for free. So Wirtz continues to drive forward with the ball until he gets to this position, and you can see now the gravity that he's attracted. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 players surrounding him, concerned with him as he approaches, but he has the quality to know the perfect time to release the ball, and this is what makes him one of the best playmakers in the world. Not just a good playmaker, one of the best in the world. What he's going to do here is thread this ball through to Szoboszlai, which, if you've seen the highlights on YouTube, you'll have seen this goal. We are over-analysing here, like I said. Szoboszlai, you can see making the run. He could even give a little reverse ball to Nunez if he wants, but he opts for Szoboszlai. What happens is the defender actually does really well. Just about stops the ball going through. You can see the sort of last-ditch nature of this tackle. He's having to slide. He cuts it out, but due to the effect of Wirtz breaking those lines, because of this pass being cut out by this defender in this way, the ball then falls to Darwin, who easily is able to tuck this one away. And I thought it was worth pointing out also the finish. The ball is right in the corner. Well done, Darwin. You put the ball right in the corner. And that's what we like to see. If you do more of that, if you'd done it for 3 years, we'd probably have kept you and not spent 78 million on Ekitike. But here we are. Good finish, good goal, Liverpool 1-0 up. And the move is all created by Wirtz. So immediately shows his impact. And when I watched this clip, I got very tingly, I got very excited, I got a little bit, I don't know, I got a little bit shaky in my boots, because if this is what this guy is doing in his literally first action of pre-season, basically creates a goal, then we're in for a good season, guys, let me tell you that much. It is Stoke, it is pre-season, but let me get excited, alright? Okay, anyway. Next clip then. So, okay, you see here, Stoke actually have the ball. We've got the press on. Robbo's advanced. Robbo actually just gave this ball away, so you can see that's why he's here. Stoke have the ball. Anyway, unforced error from Stoke, and the ball ends up with Nioni. This fella passes him the ball. So it comes straight to Trey, and if you just go back one picture, you'll see Szoboszlai is in the more familiar area for a right back in this position. Salah much more tucked in, but again you can see the five. Imagine Robbo's just given the ball away, so he's come advanced and Wirtz is offside after just making a run, but you can see the front five: Rio, Wirtz, Nunez, Salah and Sobbo in that line. Salah this time tucked in. You see Sobbo's retreating as Stoke have the ball, but as soon as they give the ball away, look at the body position. He's now sprinting forward. The area on this side of the pitch is completely free for him, and Trey straight away head up, recognises this. It's an easy pass, but he delivers it with quality, with speed, into his path, and his passing range was really good this game. Like I said, he's impressive, and he clearly is liked by Slot, as him and Rio are getting picked in these games, and not all that many youngsters are. Anyway, so Trey opens up, delivers the ball, and you see Sobbo straight away in this position. This is what many people refer to as the half space. It's kind of, imagine I'm drawing a box here, it's kind of this area of the pitch between the middle and the wide area, the wings. This kind of quadrant is the half space, and that's where a number 10 might operate usually. And that's where this is a position we saw Szoboszlai a lot last season. Obviously he's starting at right back here, but look where he actually receives the ball. You can see Nunez, Salah and Wirtz on the far side flying in, ready to receive. Szoboszlai is really dangerous from this area, and you can see the quality he has as he delivers the ball here. The right timing, right way to pass perfectly into Nunez's path, and Nunez again has an easy one-touch finish, which he puts away. So well done to Darwin again, gets himself on the score sheet again, and you can see that quick transition. I mean, this really did happen quick. If we just go back to when Trey gets the ball, even when Stoke have the ball, they give the ball away, it's quickly cycled out wide, and within a couple frames it's in the net. And that's the deadly counter-attacking nature, and it's actually our right back passing the ball to our striker, although our right back was our number 10 last year. So really interesting, and we'll touch on that a little later when we get into the tactics and how it looks. But another nice goal there from the boys. And yeah, Szoboszlai, most interesting position, I would say, from this friendly. Okay, next clip, or next passage of play is, again, Stoke had the ball. You can see Gomez this time stepping up really high out of his line. Been quite impressed with Gomez in these first 2 pre-season games. Good to see him getting on the actual pitch, getting a pre-season. Hopefully he can stay fit, because he is good. He just always gets injured. So steps in, wins the ball, nice and high. We've seen Van Dijk do this a lot. You can see the players around this player receiving the ball though, getting the press on. Also, let's just go back before we analyse this one. Look at Szoboszlai. Here's our right back again. Just something to take note of. Gomez wins the ball, it goes to Wirtz, and this is not the man that Stoke wanted to see on the ball in this position. You can see here Wirtz firmly in number 10, which he was in this game. Anybody who suggests that this guy, who we signed for a British world record fee, will be playing on the left wing, listen, I'm not going to go around insulting people, but come on, he's not going to play on the left wing. He's a number 10. He's one of the best number 10s in the world. And so he's going to play number 10, and that's where he was. In this game, you can see he's right in the centre of the pitch. He's the hub of all of this attack. And he has all these options here. He actually ends up slowing the game down. He actually gives the ball to Salah. Nothing materialises on the right-hand side. The game slows down. It gets recycled over to this left side, where again, Trey gets the ball. And what you see here is Gomez, this time, is stepping into the middle. So you can see he's asking for the ball. It's going to come into this area. Trey's going to give him the ball. And what I noticed a lot was when Rio would get the ball, Rio likes to dribble. He's 16, and he's really good at dribbling. So this is kind of what he likes to do when he receives the ball. But very often he would get it and he would sort of push Stoke back. Even if he didn't get past his man, he'd really push them back, which allows us to sort of squeeze them back towards their goal. And Gomez takes advantage of this. And what you'll see is when Gomez receives the ball, Jones and Gomez create that sort of 2 in the middle. Every player from Stoke is behind the ball except the number 9. So the threat of a counter isn't massive. If they win it, we've got Van Dijk back. Robbo's somewhere over here as well. So Gomez is going to step in. Gomez gives the ball to Salah. Wirtz has made this run here. This is a run that Man City have done for years when De Bruyne was in his prime especially, and the reason why they wanted Wirtz. He comes for this underlap. You can see if Salah had the time in or wanted to, he can give this ball in this channel here for Wirtz to maybe cut back. We've seen De Bruyne do this countless times for City. It's a super effective way to generate chances. You can see Szoboszlai is actually telling Salah to just recycle the ball and go back. He's pointing, give the ball back, and that's the patient approach that Slot sort of wants us to have. However, Salah has too much quality and finds this pass. So he fires the ball across the box right to Nunez for a perfect chance to shoot. However, he doesn't. He actually takes a touch here and the play sort of breaks down. But I wanted to highlight this. The pass from Salah is top quality, and Nunez, if he wanted to, could have just smashed this at the goal. Anyway, he doesn't. The ball breaks out, and you see Jones steps right in, wins the ball. And again, I want to point out, you've got Jones and Leone, the 2 in the middle. We've got a line here, Rio. Robbo's actually right in there. Wirtz, Nunez is here. This is Szoboszlai, the right back. He's offside. You see where he is. And Salah. So we've actually got a line of 6 here. It's now developed into sort of a 2-2-6. You've got Gomez and Van Dijk with the 2 in midfield. That's sort of our setup. This is really interesting. It really is sort of suffocating the Stoke defence. You can see how free Rio is. Just with the sheer amount of players we have forward. Jones wins the ball, and just because him and Neone are the pivot players doesn't mean that they have to stand still in that area, which you'll see here. He gives the ball to Salah, he continues his run. You can see the attention that Salah brings. This man, this man, this man, this man, this player, this player, this player, this player, and this player. Every single player in this footage is watching Salah. Not the best defender from Stoke in the world, I will be honest, but that's just the attention Salah brings. They're all so concerned with him. They don't see Jones slipping around the back, but Mo Salah does, and he finds that reverse pass through to Jones. Really clever ball. Jones is then able to advance right into the penalty area, really dangerous. Sort of similar run to the one Wirtz made, but he actually gets the ball now. Salah continues his run, Wirtz is in there, Robbo's still in there at the back post. You can see Szoboszlai, here are two fullbacks, left back and right back, in the box. But it's actually going to fall to Nunez, this one. Jones cuts the ball across. Nunez does some mental thing. I don't know if you've seen this goal. He like fakes with his right foot and then prods it in with his left. It was really impressive. I don't quite know how he did it. He even gets it through the defender's legs. But he scores, completes his hat-trick. I think this was about 20 minutes in. So we absolutely dismantled Stoke, to be honest. It was super impressive. We were really dominant. We looked super crisp. It's just exciting, isn't it? We're just fucking boss at the minute, and there's lots to smile about at Liverpool as of right now. And if Nunez is scoring hat-tricks, then I mean that says it all. But again, he scores the goal. You can see that the amount of players we have in the box, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players end up in the box when we score this goal. And you see the Stoke players, they've got the goalie, and they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players in the box defending, so including the keeper. They've got only 2 players up front. We've got Van Dijk and Gomez back there. So you see the overload we have in the box. It's just so many bodies. It's hard to defend. We've also got Neone out of picture too, just sweeping up, and that completed the 3rd goal. So a little bit different here in this clip, as we're finally seeing this end of the pitch, and clearly the clip starts here, but clearly we just defended something, and what we see is Wirtz dropping in to help with build-up. Now again, he's getting touches of the ball. This is what he does. He is so involved in the play, and he gets on the ball deep, which was interesting when we signed him, how often he would do this. Would he stay high in this sort of area where the ref is, or would he drop in to help out? Well, he receives the ball. He's got quite a bit of pressure on him, but it's no problem for a player of his quality. He just does a little dribble, finds this angle, which he's going to give to Salah here. Takes multiple players out of the game, and Salah has the quality as well. When he receives the ball, he already knows what he's going to do, and he first time is going to pass this ball into Darwin Nunez, who's about here. Salah's very good at football as well as Florian Wirtz, who is already aware of what's going to happen, and you can see is bursting forward to join the attack, which is exactly what happens, as Darwin is able to receive the ball in loads of space and carry it forward. And this is where someone like Ekitike might come in. So Darwin does fine here, no qualms with what he ends up doing, but we all know Darwin is not the best dribbler in the world. He can get a little muddled over his own feet. Maybe his timing isn't the best. He's not the best dribbler in the world, but in open space he's okay. And Ekitike is an excellent dribbler, really top dribbler, and when he's getting the ball and able to carry it forward, that's going to be a real weapon for us next year. But Darwin does fine. You can see Wirtz has already got past him from where he started the move. Again, he is advancing to make runs for Darwin, and he takes some players away from where the ball's going to eventually go, which is to Salah. You see the space Salah's got. We know how many assists Salah got last year, and goals too, of course, but in these areas with time and space, he's so dangerous for opposition teams with the outside of the foot cross. He can cut in. He's got lots of weapons, and Darwin finds him in a lot of space. Again, this is all in a matter of seconds from when Wirtz had the ball on our own box. We managed to beat the press and we're out. So Salah gets the ball. Again, nothing actually comes from it, and we end up having to recycle. So Robbo steps in to play, and what you see now is Jones has actually advanced into the forward line, and so you've got Robbo and Trey have now sort of created this two that we were seeing with Jones and Trey earlier in the game. Again, Gomez and Van Dijk are the last line. You've got Stokes number 9 up front and everyone else back. And these guys have created that sort of double pivot, which is sort of the key setup that we've seen from this game, as I've pointed out to you all already. And the front line is there. Anyway, so imagine this is Kirkes in this area. You know, quite narrow. He's not wide on the line overlapping. Kirkes has the technical ability to cross, to dribble, to shoot even. Robbo maybe not so much these days. More of a runner. Anyway, the ball gets into quite settled possession. Again, it goes to Rio. You can see he's making this run into this area after just doing a little dribble and giving the ball to Wirtz. Just want you to check out the body language on this, really. Wirtz is so casual playing these passes, and it almost lulls the Stoke players into being casual as well, as though they think there's no danger because the play slows down. It doesn't look threatening. And Wirtz is a magician at this type of thing. There's nothing fancy here. Nothing he does is particularly hard. It doesn't look hard especially, but it's just the timing. And I promise you, I'm not over-exaggerating the importance of and the ability of Wirtz in this situation. Obviously, lots of people can do this. What he actually does is just pass the ball to Jones. It's a 5-yard pass. But it's the timing and what it sets up, and he's already seen the bigger picture. So he's going to very casually bounce the ball to Jones, but before we move on to that next clip, I just want to point out here again, we've got Trey, and this time Szoboszlai, the right back. He's infield now, so we've seen him wide, delivering the cross for Nunez's goal. We've seen him in the number 10 area, which is similar to where he is now, but he's actually creating, again, that sort of double pivot as Robbo's advanced. Rio's in the box, Nunez is in number 9, Salah's sort of in his right wing area. Wirtz is going to bounce this ball to Jones, and Jones is going to bounce it right back. And again, I want you to see the body language of Wirtz. His arms are down by his side, it's casual, he's not running, he looks like he's at walking pace, and all he's going to do is just bounce this ball to Rio. But what I want to show is, if you see how compact the area is here, you've got this defender, Rio's making the run. There's no way to get the ball to Rio on this image, and all that happens in between is a simple bounce pass from Wirtz to Jones and back. But look at the space it creates. The pressure that Stoke players have now brought towards Wirtz just from him delaying the pass to Rio by doing that little bounce pass. These three players have all now forgotten about Rio and Gamoa, who's asking for the ball. Wirtz, first time, again, everything's first time with this guy because he has the quality and the ability to do so. Really casual, into Rio. Rio takes the shot. It deflects and goes in, but it goes in nonetheless. 4th goal for Liverpool in the first half, and Rio gets his first goal for Liverpool, even if it's in a friendly. Again, look at the body language of Wirtz. He's literally walking. It's incredible. Rio scores, and Liverpool go 4-0 up. Okay, another clip I wanted to add in here. We've got Rio here on the wing with the ball. This is at 4-0 now. You can see the gravity he has already. We've got players doubling up on him because of his dribbling ability. We've got Robbo in this area. But again, I wanted to just point out the two at the back, the two in the midfield is sort of a 2-2-6. This time, both our fullbacks have joined that double pivot. But the point I'm making is we've always had a double pivot. Whether it was the fullbacks, the midfielders, a fullback and a midfielder. It didn't matter, we always had it. I might sneeze here, hold on. No, I think we're good. Rio, like I said, he likes to dribble, so he takes these players as far as he can into the byline. Nothing actually comes of it, but it's just something I wanted to point out. Okay, into the second half then. Made wholesale changes to the team, everybody came off. How the team lined up in the second half was really interesting. Now, take as much as you want from it because it's a lot of sort of fringe players, but you know, there's still things that we can look at. One of the things is the position of Frimpong, which was kind of the story of the second half, all about Frimpong, and the position of Conor Bradley. So a lot of people thought, I've seen analysing this game, have thought Frimpong was playing right wing. He was at the end after Ben Doak came off. Ben Doak came off after about half an hour, I would say, for Luke Stevenson. When Ben Doak was on, we had a front three of Ben Doak on the right, Chiesa up front and Gakpo on the left. Frimpong was playing right back, not right wing, similar to how Szoboszlai was playing right back in the first half. Conor Bradley was actually playing number 10. He actually really was. And I think that's another indicator of how Slot wants the right back to perform this year. We saw Szoboszlai moving from right back into number 10 in the first half. This time we just saw Bradley, who is a right back, starting number 10. Now it could just be a pre-season thing. We've not got that many players as maybe we will have at the start of the season. Ekitike coming, maybe some other new signings. But the point is our right back going to basically also be our number 10 this year? Anyway, so Frimpong, you can see super high and wide, advanced right on the last line. A little bit wider than Szoboszlai was. But Bradley's going to give the ball to Doak. It goes to Frimpong. Nothing actually comes of it, but just wanted to point that out. What we've got in this clip is Endo, my hero, receiving the ball deep. Endo, much better football than people give him credit for. Actually, quality on the ball. And is able to spin this ball first time into Bradley, who you can see is playing number 10. Frimpong is playing right back. Not that Bradley's in a number 10 position here, but that's where he was playing, is number 10 for a while. And he's going to get this ball in acres of space, similar to how Wirtz found Salah in the first half, if you remember. Bradley has acres to advance in, which is similar to how Nunez did in the first half, if you remember those clips. And what you see here is Frimpong is on his bike, and again, it's the story of Frimpong. This guy is absolutely fucking rapid, guys. He's like, I don't even know, he's like Usain Bolt on PEDs, mate. This guy is rapid, and he's going to receive the ball from Bradley in a second. So here we go. Frimpong does receive the ball and gets right to the byline, which is something he kept doing. And again, when you get right to the byline, it's a really dangerous area to cross from, because you can get cutbacks, you can flash it across the face. You see the amount of players we have advancing again. You've got Kirkes here, Chiesa, Gakpo, Doak, Bradley and Frimpong all on the attack. Frimpong has the ability here to either bring this ball across the face, however no one's there, so what he actually does is cut the ball back. You can see Gakpo making that move for it. And Frimpong's delivery in this game was really good as well. He cuts the ball back, it actually evades Gakpo, goes to Chiesa. Chiesa has a chance to score, it gets blocked, and then Doak hits the post. We don't score, but we almost score. And that's all from Frimpong's dynamism, his speed, and again a quick transition from having the ball with Endo towards the back, and then quickly moving the ball forward towards the goal that we're attacking. Chiesa nearly scores. Okay. Next one here, we've got Frimpong again involved. Like I said, he was the real story of the second half. So he's just played a little 1-2 with Conor Bradley, and he's about to literally leave these two players for dead. He's like the Flash. You can see how blurry the screenshot is. It's impossible to get a screenshot in where he's not breaking the laws of physics, because he's rapid. And basically he's just going to leg it forward. You can see how much ground he's able to get covered before someone is able to get out to him and challenge. He's again not quite at the byline, but he's super advanced. And you see the delivery, the quality he's about to deliver with is high, and that's a reason why we signed him. And it was only half of football and clipped up against Stoke in pre-season, but it became clearer to me in just this alone why we've signed Frimpong. If the idea is to have a right back who's basically an attacker when we have the ball, I mean, you couldn't have a better one than this guy. Because he's basically a winger who plays right back. So, yeah, it's really exciting. and he's in these sort of red, orangey, Puma, I think they're Puma boots, absolutely flying, you can't miss him. He's going to deliver this ball to the back post, goes to Gakpo, again, Gakpo has a shot, nothing comes of it, but I just wanted to highlight the play of Frimpong and the play of the boys in the second half. Got Kirkes here back in, Gakpo up as well. Here's a clip that highlights Frimpong's opposite fullback, Milos Kirkes. So this was kind of settled possession, I want to say. Gakpo had the ball, recycles it back to Kirkes, and you can see he's telling Kirkes, play this ball inside, run inside. He's telling him where to go. Kirkes, like I said, has the technical ability to be able to do lots of different things that maybe puts him above Robbo in that technical aspect. So what he does is play the ball backwards to Gravenberch and does make that run inside that Gakpo was sort of telling him to do. And look at what it does. So again, the fullback's really advanced, narrow as well. You can see he's not overlapping Gakpo, he's actually inside the winger. Gravenberch has the ball. Both these Stoke defenders are so concerned with where Kirkes is going, because if they don't track him, Gravenberch can just slip this ball through and he's in. And he has the ability to score. Whereas Robbo's shooting, we know, is not the best. Kirkes, not great, but better. What actually happens, Gravenberch plays this ball back out to Gakpo. Gakpo now has lots of space, but Kirkes isn't done. He's made one run to create the space, he now makes another. Again, it's that underlapping run, which we saw Wirtz make in the first half. We saw Jones get into a similar position. Kirkes makes that same run. It's the Man City special from when they had De Bruyne, David Silva, Bernardo Silva, we've seen make it a lot, Phil Foden. Gakpo this time gives him the ball. He gets right to the byline for cutbacks. He does cut this ball back to Chiesa. Again, we don't score. Freddie Church doing his best to get a goal, which he does get at the end. But that's just a little clip to highlight Kirkes and the work that he did there to basically create that chance all by himself, and just some clever movement with Gakpo and Gravenberch. Okay, next one, we've got Tsimikas, who played centre-back in this game. He has the ball at the back, and he's actually going to punch this ball right into our striker. So he's going to miss out all the midfield, and what you'll see is Chiesa is going to receive this ball from Tsimikas. So he's missed Endo, he's missed Gravenberch, but again, you've got that double pivot. Endo receives it, Chiesa receives it. Again, half turn, super important. Beats the man who was on his back, and he's away. Imagine here, this is Ekitike again. This is a strength of Ekitike's game. He's so tall and strong. This midfielder probably wouldn't be able to bully him off the ball, overpower him. He's got the ability to turn, his dribbling's fantastic. Just imagine him being able to drop in and take the ball and advance it the way Chiesa does here. Again, you can see that the ground Chiesa is able to cover. He flies away and suddenly we're attacking. What's going to happen is he's going to play this ball to Ben Doak. Now, Doak misses the chance. He gets a good chance and it's a good save by the goalie. Just imagine it's Mo Salah. Just imagine this is Mo Salah here in this position. Imagine this is Hugo Ekitike. Imagine this is Mo Salah. You do not want Mo Salah to be here. This player would be having nightmares. I don't know who he is, but I bet he didn't sleep well, and I bet he would have slept even worse if this was Mo Salah. You know, he has the pace to get where Doak does. He can cut in on his left foot. Doak's naturally right-footed, so wants to get it on his right. It's just really dangerous, and that quick transition again that we're showing. You can see where Doak ends up. He has the shot. If you imagine it's Salah, this defender's having to make a full sprint to get back. Salah can just chop him on his left, and he's got that ability to find this far corner, which we've seen him do like a gazillion times for Liverpool. Doak, shot saved. Okay, coming towards the end now, but another clip. We've got the balls with the goalkeeper, and Endo is showing for the ball. This is risky play, but it's becoming a lot more common in the modern game, where the goalkeeper has the ball and the midfielder has to be like a bounce, a first time pass. The ball is going to go from the goalkeeper to Endo and immediately to Konate. You can see this Stoke player recognises what's going to happen. Stoke have actually got a good press on us here. This player knows what's going to happen. The goalkeeper can't pass it to Konate and he can't pass it to Tsimikas. They're both blocked. Kirkes is also getting pressed, so the ball can't really go there. So it has to go to Endo. But we do this with the right timing before this player can tackle Endo. And as a result, Endo can bounce the ball to Konate, which he does. Ibu then is able to play the ball up the line to Bradley, who's in lots of space, and we're out. And that's what the risky nature of that ball enables us to do. At this point, Doak's gone off, so now Bradley was at right back. Lucas Stevenson, who is a right back, was playing number 10. I don't think this was tactical. I just think we were out of players by this point. Frimpong is at right wing. So this is what we see. The ball advances, and you see Frimpong, and I just wanted to put this in because it's just funny, to be honest. Frimpong, when Bradley plays this ball to him, is level with this defender. Right, just look at the next one. The distance Frimpong has created, and bear in mind Frimpong slowed down to be able to deliver this ball, but he's put, what's that, 2 yards maybe between him and the defender. He just left him for dead, basically. Just a simple ball forward, he just leaves him for dead. He's had to run with the ball as well. He's right at the byline. He could take a shot here, maybe, but what he does is put the ball on a plate, cuts it back for Stevenson. Again, Stevenson maybe not the player you want on the end of it. Imagine this is Florian Wirtz. Imagine it's Szoboszlai, it's Ekatike. They come in, they can have a shot. Stevenson has a shot. It does go over the bar harmlessly, I'll be honest. But look at the position he has. It's basically a penalty, you know, and it's all Frimpong's work and a bit of nice play to get out the press. Okay. A little bit more Frimpong to finish off. He's going to again play a 1-2 with Bradley. We saw that quite a lot. Bradley at right back, but tucked inside, which is something we've seen in this game a lot. The fullbacks getting narrow rather than overlapping. Frimpong is going to give Bradley the ball. You can see he's level here with this fullback as he plays the 1-2. This player is too late to make the interception. Bradley gives Frimpong the ball, and the player that he was level with, which I believe, which you can see here is this player, is just nowhere to be seen in this one. This might be him here. It's hard to tell. He just devours the pitch. Frimpong, he just eats up the ground. Again, he's got the cutback to Stevenson if he wants it. He's got the whip around Gakpo. You can see he's in loads of space, and that's what he ultimately chooses to do. He finds Gakpo. Gakpo can score himself, but sets up the 100% chance to Chiesa to just tap in. If Eddie Church gets his goal, it's brilliant from Frimpong. It was brilliant from Liverpool. And that's the last picture from this game that we saw. An absolute dismantling of Stoke. And I hope I've been able to illustrate that to everybody there. I appreciate that was quite a lot of stuff getting thrown at you, but I hope you enjoyed. So let's have a quick look how that might look sort of tactically with dots and stuff like that. We all love dots, don't we? Let's have a look. Okay, so here on the screen we've got the team that started the first half against how Stoke lined up. So they were in a 5-3-2 formation. Ignore the numbers, it's just imagine these are just Stoke players, and you've got our players here. This is how the lineup looked on paper. Szoboszlai right back, and this is probably how Sky will show, and TNT Sports, no provider preferable over one another if you ever want to sponsor me. Other providers are available. This is how they'll show that we line up when they do the fancy graphics. It'll be probably giving us a 4-3-2-1, a 4-2-3-1, or a 4-3-3 with Wirtz at number 10. Salah and whoever's on the wing, probably Gakpo on the other side with the number 9 and the 2 in midfield. However, what it actually looked like on the ball, which is kind of what I was trying to show you, if we just force these Stoke players back as we had the ball, you had Rio basically right up here. Darwin was number 9. Wirtz was basically here. Salah we saw wide. We also saw him here, but most of the time he was nice and wide. And then Szoboszlai, this was the most interesting position. He was basically here, and then you have on the ball, you have something that looks a little like this. Basically, this is what it looked like. So you've got the 3-2-5 with the double pivots here of these two. These guys have the ball. We saw Van Dijk have it. We saw Neoni get it. And as the pressure comes, Wirtz just finds the gap. Is able to make himself available. Play these balls in here. We saw the ball go into here and bounce off into Robbo and get us into this advanced position. A lot of the time we saw Rio get the ball. So let's imagine Rio is here in the play. Let's imagine is a little less advanced. Everybody's up the pitch. Let's move everybody back. Here we go. What we saw is Rio, a lot of the time, would dribble the ball at his fullback. So everybody gets pushed back because Rio and Gamoa is dribbling at you. And as a result, like I've just moved everyone away from, everyone has to drop back. And then you see very quickly our players are able to advance. It forces the midfield back. The ball can come into Neoni and we can either recycle it down here or we can move it inside for chances. So we saw this a lot. And where Szoboszlai was pushing into that number 10 role, it was just really interesting. Slot might just be trying something crazy mode. But you've got all these people who think they know tactics, they think they know how Liverpool work, they think they're tactical geniuses. I don't think I'm a tactical genius. I just think I can see what the managers do and then talk about it. However, nobody saw this coming. And if they did, and if they say they do, they're a liar. Nobody saw a right back being Szoboszlai going to play here. They just didn't. We also saw a few times where Jones had joined the attack and it was a little bit like this. We also saw times where Robbo was right up here as well, and we sort of had this going on. So we had sort of a box and the 6 players. You can just see how this overwhelms the back line of Stoke. Like, there's just lots of players, there's lots to worry about. We've got the ball, we can punch it, we can get it wide, 1v1s, and a lot of the time we were seeing when the winger would get the ball, the fullback wasn't here, they were actually a lot of the time here. We saw Kirkes make that run, remember, here, the ball goes back in, Kirkes made this run, everybody was concerned, so everybody comes in, it finds the winger again, and then this run was made by Kirkes, and that's how we managed to get that goal. The ball comes here and we can cut it back. And I thought that was really interesting. The one concern I do have a little with this is there's a term called rest defence, if you haven't heard of this, and basically what that means is how are we set up to defend when we're resting, when we have the ball. So let's imagine the play was in its most common state like this in the game. We saw a lot of this sort of setup. Let's say Neoni has the ball, gives it into Wirtz. Wirtz loses the ball. Yeah, right. This player makes the tackle and they're away. There is a concern that what if these wing backs get forward, they have a more quality in the team than a team like Stoke. Could they quickly get at us like this, where we're a bit short on numbers? Perhaps Neoni or Jones has gone forward as well. Could they get the ball wide, isolate, use these runs in here, maybe a cross that comes something like this, around to this guy? It's just something to keep in mind, I think, with what we saw in that first game. We also saw a lot of time when we were a bit deeper. If I just pop everyone back where they were, we'll leave the Stoke players where they are for now. If we just bring everybody back like this, we did see when we have the ball, we saw it with Endo, we're trying to get the ball from the centre back. Is there a way that we can get the ball from the centre back directly to the striker? And this is where Ekitike might come in. If we can find where the striker drops in, bring the ball to Ekitike, let's imagine, and he can advance forward and get the wingers running in behind, as Stoke have really, imagine Stoke are really pushed up like this with a press on. Got the midfielders involved, like this. And everybody's back in settled possession. This is what we'll see when we play top teams like Arsenal, like Man City. They like to press. And let's say Van Dijk has the ball. It's important for the striker, which might be Ekitike. Well, probably will be Ekitike. Could Wirtz make this sort of run, drag this player with him, and then that opens this channel here for Darwin to receive the ball, or Ekitike, and then we're away. We saw Chiesa do it, and that's something that we might see. One difference that we did see in the game in the first and second half was when Salah was on the right wing versus when Frimpong was on the right wing. You know, when Salah's here, it's going to be a lot of getting the ball, and what we know with Salah is he wants to cut inside. He also might find himself here a lot, even if the striker and Wirtz and the left winger are here, he might be tucked inside with the right back outside him. However, when Frimpong was there, Frimpong obviously right-footed and fast, so he wants to get the ball and run down the line like this. We saw countless times he get to the byline and he wants to play the ball back or play it across the face. Just a little difference there that we saw. And the last thing that I thought is worth pointing out on this sort of board was the position of the left back. I think this is a really important position for us next year. We saw a lot of times where the left back came in here. Let's imagine Neone had joined the front five. The left back was in here. We saw where the left back was right up here making that run. We saw where the left back was wide. This is a really technical, complicated position next year. We also saw where it was part of the three when we had, let's imagine, this sort of situation going on. So Kirkus' ability to be able to play as the advanced fullback, good on the ball in this double pivot, or have the physical nature to play in this settled back three and the discipline to not go bombing forward. Although it was allowed, we did see times where we were 2-2-6. I mean, obviously, imagine the Stoke players have come back as well, but where we were in this sort of formation. So that's a little quick fire visual representation of the things that we did. If you couldn't visualize it in the clips I showed, I hope that's useful in any way. Let me know if it is. Drop me a comment. How's my analysis? Have I got a job on Sky? What do we reckon? But before we end today, let's very quickly get into some transfer news. Okay, so transfers then. Things are still rolling. We've got Ekitike has flown in today for his medical. I imagine he'll be announced in probably a day or two if we're going off the timeline of all the other new signings. Wonder if he'll be available for the Milan game on the weekend. He probably will. How many minutes he'll get, not sure. Obviously, he's got to fly to Hong Kong, that kind of thing. He's never trained with us before. We'll see, but very exciting. But there still seems like there's work Liverpool want to do, which is mind-blowing considering how much money we've spent. But we're all having fun, aren't we? It's like all our Christmases all at once. And the most likely transfer at the minute looks like Luis Diaz leaving to Bayern. So probably around £70 million we'll get the deal done, and I honestly think that's a good deal for us. He's a good player, Diaz, but with the amount of time on his contract, I think that's a good deal. There was a Colombian journalist called Pipe Sierra. I hope I've not mispronounced that one, but there we go. And he said last night that he thinks Diaz will leave, and I'll read you his full quote here. This is exactly what he said. He said, "There is a strong possibility that Bayern Munich will finalise the arrival of Luis Diaz. A big offer from Bayern Munich should be arriving in the next weeks to Liverpool in order to seal the Luis Diaz deal. The fact that he is the 18th best paid Liverpool player, considering that 11 players start, speaks volumes. The fact that Liverpool have shown no interest in renewing or improving Luis Diaz's contract, considering how much he earns, speaks volumes. I'm not even talking bad about the club. This is just what we gather from the player's entourage." So the agent is clearly feeding this information. The agent is not happy with Liverpool. Liverpool have clearly not offered Diaz a new contract, and there's a lot of sort of bad press coming from the agent about Liverpool. He clearly just wants the move. I don't think this is driven from Diaz, and I don't think we should pile on Diaz if we're hearing this type of thing. I don't have anything against Diaz if he wants to leave, to be honest. I totally understand. but it does look like he's going to go. Sierra is a really, really good tier source for Diaz with that Colombian connection. He's pretty much spot on. So it looks like he's going to be going, which means we'll be signing another attacker. There's been a lot of buzz about Rodrigo. It couldn't happen, could it? Like, really? And do we want Rodrigo? Do you want Rodrigo? Let me know. I don't know if I want Rodrigo personally. Call me crazy. I don't know if I want him, but there we go. There's a player called Malik Fofana who plays for Lyon, who is apparently a backup target we might have. But interestingly enough, he's also Bayern Munich's backup target if they don't get Diaz, so that could be interesting. And obviously we've got Gordon as well from Newcastle, who's well liked by Liverpool, 100%. I definitely would have Gordon, so maybe we'll have a deep dive into left wingers at some point. In other news, we've got Chiesa has not gone on the tour. The word from the club is that he has a little injury issue and didn't travel. Now, Fabrizio Romano says otherwise. He says he's not gone on the tour because he is leaving. And there's reports from Sky Italia last night that Atalanta want him for about 12 million euros. Whether this is true or not, I don't know. But it does look like he's going to go to Italy for basically the price we paid for him. If he does, he played 14 games for us. He scored 2 goals and he got 2 assists. He played 466 minutes, which is about the equivalent of just over 5 games, 5 full 90 minutes. So what can you even say about Chiesa? He gave us one of the best songs. He's a beloved player for some reason, beloved by me. Obviously, his song, if you haven't clocked already, is the tune to The Golden Sky, and I'll miss him if he goes. I really will. But we will be short on attackers if we sell him. Also, if we sell Darwin Nunez, who looks like he's going to be moved as well, that will mean we're left with Salah, Gakpo, and Ekitike. Plus, let's say we sign a new one. Let's say it's Rodrigo, Fofana, or Gordon, someone like that. We only have 4. Could Rio and Gamoa feasibly play this season? Definitely in the Cups, but not sure about the Prem. Then we've got, is Doak going to leave or stay? Probably leave, right? Is Harvey Elliott going to stay or leave? He's probably going to leave. That leaves Wirtz, Szoboszlai, maybe Jones at a push can play in that front three, but I'd rather not. We need players, and I think we'll sign players if we sell players. By all accounts, we're not done, so there's that. And is Alexander Isak still possible? Is it possible? It's not gone away, and things are building at Newcastle with him wanting to leave, so really interested. Will Isak end up with us when the season starts? I mean, can you imagine? Where will he fit in? I don't know now with Ekitike joining. I mean, if we sign Isak, he's our main striker. So does Ekitike go to the bench? I just can't see us doing that. But it's clear, it's been reported by Ben Jacobs, who's been spot on Liverpool news this summer. Really, really spot on. That we still want Isak, whether that's now, in January, or next year. We still want him. So the interest is clearly still there, despite Ekitike getting wrapped up. And it is just mind-blowing. How much money are we going to spend? It's crazy. As well as that, we've got the centre-back still in the plans. It has been reported by a lot of people that we are definitely in the market for a centre-back. The only real name that we've seen still is Gehi. Reports yesterday that Spurs still are interested in Gehi. They made a bid for him in January that was rejected. Gehi now is into the last year of his deal, so there is a chance he may just run that down, meaning he can move for free, whether that's to us or someone else. Hopefully it would be to us if it was anybody. But there hasn't been that many names. We've been interested in the past in Lukeba from RB Leipzig, but he's a left-footed centre-back. I don't know about that one. I feel like if we signed a centre-back, it'd be more of a right-footed one. There's a fella from Italy who's he's 18, I think. He's called Leone, and he plays for Parma, right? Now, I've been doing a bit of research on this fella. He broke into Parma's team last season after signing for them. Like I said, he's only 18, and he is a mammoth. He's massive, guys. You think of an 18-year-old centre-back, one of the things might be they're not physically ready. Oh, he's physically ready, this guy. And I was researching a lot on him over the last few days. If we somehow randomly end up signing him, that'd be good. But just keep an eye on that name. Leone from Parma. I think he's going to be a top centre-back in the near future. Looks like a really good prospect. So that's kind of everything really with the transfers. There's still a lot of work to be done. There's still a lot of work that will be done. We've only just less than a month now till our first game against Bournemouth will have been played. The Community Shield as well coming up in a couple of weeks' time. It's very exciting. The players obviously in Hong Kong now, and I can't wait to watch the friendlies. So, with all that said today, guys, I hope you have enjoyed today's episode of The Golden Sky. We're going to leave it there for today. If you did enjoy, again, please do drop a like on the video. It really does help the videos basically just get pushed out to more people who can come and join us here and watch along with us. So if you do fancy leaving a like, please do subscribe to the channel as well and drop a comment as well. Always helps to let me know if you enjoyed or if you'd like to see anything else in the future. Thank you for listening. If you listened on the podcast or watching, if you watched on YouTube, much appreciate it. I'll be back at the very least before the friendly against Milan. We'll do a little preview, I imagine, of some kind, and maybe we'll know a bit more about signings then as well. Until then, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.